Here we are in the third week of Close Contact for Couples with PD. And this week we're really going to think about stickiness. What does it take to be sticking to your partner? So last time we were thinking about balance, now we're really thinking about friction. And how does that happen between two bodies? Again, remembering that we're going to be cueing our partner verbally and also with eye contact. So hi, Mose and Duff again. So we're going to start today with an exercise again for touching, just touching with hands. And it's something I call skinship. So what we're going to do is, usually when we touch somebody, we're transmitting some kind of emotion. And usually it just goes too quickly to register as any particular feeling. So what I want you to do is extend your forearms and hold on to one another. And the person who's on top is going to be conveying these emotions as I tell you what it is. And after we go through the whole list and you kind of practice, I'm going to ask you to deliver that touch, that friction again, and ask your partner, what do you think I was trying to tell you? Okay, so let's start with happy. And now sad. How about angry? And surprised. Relieved. Sympathetic. Prideful. And grateful. Okay, so Mose, I want you to start delivering some things to Duff. Take your time, and then after you've finished, so that he knows you're finished, just pick your hands up, take your hands away, and let him tell you what he thinks you were telling him.
Angry and happy.
I didn't finish.
Well, how many are you going to do? How many are we doing here?
Oh, I'm sorry. Are you finished?
Angry, happy, grateful.
Great. All right, let's switch around. Duff, you do some for her.
Itchy. Are you done?
Mm-hmm.
Itchy?
Angry.
Angry. Happy.
Relieved. That's, yeah, relieved. I'll take my hand off when I check.
Okay.
Okay.
Just okay.
I'll take my hand off. Okay, yes.
Angry? Angry?
Angry, yeah, you got it.
So now I want you to say, when you've received something, why do you feel that it is what it is? What is it about his touch that has changed from the last touch?
Well, the first time when I did it with your emotions, I was almost doing sign language. I was saying, like, how about your hands? I was saying happy, so he knew that was happy, and that was angry. So that when you said to just communicate, I had already communicated beforehand with sign language what I wanted. When he did it with me, I had no idea because he was making up new ones. And so I had to kind of interpret, and he kept saying, when I take my hand away, but I was guessing when he was doing it, and I was impetuous.
So that is much more like real life. Nobody's telling you, touch your partner in a certain way. I mean, right now I'm telling you that. But what we want to do is really start having that nuanced, subtle awareness of, what does this touch mean? How can I use that knowledge to help myself and my partner with touch? So in this next exercise, we're going to use a ball. If you have a balloon handy, you could use that. In this case, we're just going to use this light ball. And the idea is that the two of them are going to stick to one another and the ball. So the idea is they do not want the ball to fall, and they don't want to put their hands and thumbs all over the ball. So they are going to depend on their bodies moving and shifting in space to keep this ball afloat. Obviously, if it falls down, we'll just start over.
Okay.
So go ahead, stick it in between, and then move.
Turn around, turn around, turn around. Because I can't keep using your back.
Great. Slow it down a little bit so that you figure out where you and your partner are going.
Where are we going?
Good catch.
Bring it up. Can we bring it
You
up?
can use your arms. You can't use your
No, you
fingers. You can use your arms, right?
Yes, that's right.
You can use your arms.
Too easy.
No. You could use your head.
You're stuck.
So the question is, if you get stuck, yes. So good. Yeah. So who has to initiate the movement and how? If you're stuck in one place.
Well, he did.
Well, both of us have to. Yeah.
Both of us have to.
Shall we do it again?
Yes.
Okay. Let's go down.
But you keep turning around then.
Yeah. Okay.
But you
What
can
would you
talk
like?
to me. Let's go up. There you go, under your arm. There you go.
How's that?
Oh, that's a good idea.
Nice. How about your lower body?
Whoops.
She wants us to do it with her legs. Hold on. Yeah, let me go behind you. Oh, I can't use my hands. I'm trying to get it. Here, now walk backwards, forwards. How backwards?
Good, just stick with her. Maybe she wants to go forward. You may just have to go sideways.
Mm-hmm.
Great. That's wonderful. Okay, thank you. So what do we learn from this? So we learn that it's not only the friction, right, that's giving you the cue, it's also the amount of weight that you're putting on that ball in between you. And if one person really starts, you know, it's like yanking. If you start pushing too hard, then the ball's going to fall. Yeah. So it's, again, it's this, I think you've heard me use this metaphor. It's not like you're unscrewing a jar just with the top of the jar. You have to unscrew both at the same time in order for that friction to work nicely. But that's great. Okay.
It's easier to do, Judith, when you're able to talk. If you weren't allowed to talk, it would be much more difficult.
Oh, you can talk. Go ahead.
Oh, we did. We did talk. I said turn and whatever.
Try it again and talk.
No, we did talk.
Oh.
You just didn't hear us. We were whispering to each other.
Oh. But did the camera hear you?
Okay, ready?
All right. I'm going to go forwards. I'm going to go in front of your chest.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm going to turn around on my back. Now, where do you want me to go?
I'm on my left shoulder now, and then I'm going to go down. And come around.
Woo!
Okay, and we're going to try to get it to go higher. Is that good?
Yeah, we'll get it to go higher. That's a good idea. All right, there we go.
Okay. Is that? Go ahead. Where are we going?
I guess I'm going down your back, but I have
Okay.
to. There we go.
Okay.
All right, there we are. Is that okay?
Nice. That's beautiful. Yes. I felt you're a lot more connected. It was very collaborative. So, okay. Now, without the ball, let's see about friction together. So, let's hold around each other's waists, as we have done before. And again, take that, your Moses' inside hand and Duff's outside hand. You're going to hold those together. The hands that are free. No. Your other, Mose, your other hand. Yes. And now he puts his opposite hand around your waist and you, yes, great. Okay. So that's what you're going to do. So one of you is going to initiate movement forward, back, or side. And you may want to play with this handhold, especially the one on the waist. So do you want to cover his hand? Does that friction work? Do you want to interlace your fingers? How do you want to work it so that you can really feel where his body's going and he can feel where yours is going? So for the moment, let's just try shifting weight. And good. And I don't know who initiated it, but it was great because you should feel a column of your two bodies together making one piece, right?
We're not moving our feet, right?
Well, not right yet, but you will be. Good. Okay, and stop. And now you're going to take, let's say, Duff, take your right foot forward. Both of you take your right foot forward. Yes. Okay. And now rock back and forth. And let's say you're going to have to start further back in the room. We're going to take a few rocks and then step, step, step.
Should we do that sideways scene?
Well, you will do it sideways. Go ahead. Rock back and forth. And then walk. Walk. Good. So, do we know who was initiating that action?
John, because he kept telling me, right?
Oh, okay. So, for now, don't talk about it. I want the two of you to feel where you are in space as you move together. So, let's give you the option. Let's say Mose is going to do the initiating first. All right? So you're going to lead him, and you're going to decide, do you want to stay in place and rock? Do you want to take a step to your side and back to the center? Do you want to go forward, then back, then side, then center? You get to pick, and he's just going to feel your body on his body, just that friction moving you.
And no talking.
Don't talk, just do it.
Okay.
So now start moving, yes. Suppose you wanted to go sideways. Stay connected at the hip. Good. Suppose you want to go backwards. All right, so now we're a little out of sync. Do you know why?
We lost the root connection there. The hips parted, and then all of a sudden it broke up.
Okay.
And Judith told us to do something else. I'm only kidding.
All right. So, all right, let's try again. And I'm hesitant to say Duff lead because I have a feeling I want again the smaller, lighter person to just get the practice of being the leader. So Mose, continue to lead, please. And so you may use not just that connection of your hips and that friction, but what's going on with your hands in space. So I know, one of them's on the waist and the other is being held, but in the impetus to move, something, right? I'm moving forward on this side, which means that the hand that I'm touching, somebody else's hand, is also moving forward. So make sure all your points of connection are moving at the same time. Try it again. Good. Nice. Yeah, try and do things he won't expect. You can always move in a circle if you want. How would you do that? Uh-huh. Great. So you are like the centipede. All your legs are moving together. Great. Okay, nice. So next time we're going to try that on uneven surfaces, maybe outside, so that you have one foot on a soft surface and one on a hard surface. But we won't do that yet. Right now, you have some chopsticks. Okay, so each of you is going to hold 2 chopsticks in your outside hand. Let's just try this separately before you become a couple. Take 2 chopsticks each, so that you're holding something in each hand, or one in each hand. Yeah, one in each hand is fine. Okay, so we're going to think about moving the left foot and right hand. Point your chopstick when you move your left and right. So you want counter. You want one side of your body, your foot is moving out. The other side, your hand is moving out. Not together. Yes, Duff just did it. Uh-huh. And what we're going to do, just because it's going to be a rhythm thing, so bend your elbows so that the chopsticks are up in the air. When you take your step, left foot, right hand. Bring your right hand out. Right foot, left hand. Good. Yes. Go back and forth so that we don't get dizzy seeing you. Sorry. So just practice. One foot in one hand, bring it back to center. Other foot and one hand, bring it back to center. Don't come toward the camera. Just stay in one place, because we don't have a whole lot of space.
We're just going to stay.
Okay. Yes. Good, good. And other one. And other one. Yes. Nice. Do it to my beat. And forward. And forward. Back. Forward. Back. Perfect. Okay. Now it's going to get harder. So I'd like you to put both chopsticks in your outside hand and take your other hands around each other's waist. So once again, you become one person, one body. It's like a 3-legged race now, okay? So on your when your inside feet, they're going to move together. So just stand here for a second, shift your weight to your outside foot so that your inside feet are able to move one step forward. Just do that. Yes. So your hips are connected. You should feel when the other person's going. And go forward and back, inside foot. Forward and back. And Duff, be accommodating to the length of her stride, please. So that, yeah, good, exactly. You want your feet to land in the same place and go back. Same place and go back. Great. Okay. When you take your inside feet forward, your outside hand is going to come out. Just try that. Inside foot, outside hand, and back. Great. And back. Beautiful. And back. So make sure you are completing your gesture. Go out, come back. Go out, come back. Yes, out and back. That's beautiful. Okay. Now, as you walk forward, you have another foot. So, you're going to move your inside feet and your arms, but when your arms are not moving, they're coming back, then you're going to take your other outside foot so that you are walking 2 inside feet, 2 outside feet. Let's try that. First, try it without the hands. Just walk. Inside, outside. Yes. Again, make sure you're going to have to go across the room so we could see what you're doing. This may be also easier outside. Okay. Now, don't look at me. Don't look at the camera. Concentrate. Wait. First of all, you want to look where you're going. Wait. Look where you're going, and then really feel that connection at your hip. Go. Yes. Inside and outside and, yeah, you're going to have to turn. So take small steps. So you'll sort of be making a circle around the rug. And then just try that. Again, don't worry about your hands yet. Go together, out together, in together, out together, in, pivot, in together, out together, inside and outside. And what, you actually made it harder than I was going to make it. What did you do that made this more difficult?
We did step together, like we were in a wedding instead of just being walk, walk.
Yes, and what that meant was that you had to shift weight differently on each step because you had a light foot that had to move, you had a foot that you put back that had to move immediately.
Oh, so you want us to try it the other way?
Well, let's try it this way because you haven't put your hands in yet. So let's just try it this way. So now, remember, the only time your arm moves is when your inside leg moves. Okay. I'm going to be, okay? Go ahead. And together. No, that was your outside leg.
Okay.
The only time your arm moves is the inside leg.
Together. Together.
Yes.
Together.
Yes.
Or no.
Saw arms.
Yeah.
But you're definitely getting it. This is not easy.
Okay, let's try again. Ready?
Inside leg. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Together. Don't do anything. Together. Yeah. Together. Don't do anything. Together.
Wonderful. Beautiful. Now let's try it without the wedding march. So in other words, you're not going to stop in between. You're simply going to do inside feet and hands, outside feet, no hands. Inside feet and hands, outside feet, no hands. Good. Beautiful. Okay, I really feel the stickiness. And now I feel what we could do with this is also do it on an uneven surface, which would make your balance challenged as well. And we will try that in our next segment. So in this segment of Close Contact for Couples with PD, we're going to take you to a new venue. We're going to go outside, and we're going to think about uneven surfaces, which kind of exist anywhere in the world you are, whether you live in the suburbs or a city or a rural area. You may have, if you live in a city, a place where you've got pavement and then just a grass patch. You may have a long cracked sidewalk. You may have something that has a sinkhole in it and then a flat place on the other side. So what we want to be able to do with our partner is to negotiate different surfaces that we're standing on while moving forward or sideways. So you can see that Mose and Duff are now at the top of a staircase because that is clearly an uneven surface. And we want to obviously be able to move forward without freezing or falling. And so it's great to be able to do this first on stairs and then on a flat surface. So the staircase, we always have to think safety first, since you're not just moving forward, but you are changing levels constantly. And if you have one side of your body that is predominantly weaker than the other, you need to know the maxim that the physical therapists tell us: up with the good leg, down with the bad. Well, we're not worrying about that right now because we have a particular staircase to look at. So your partner is going to be a couple of steps below you. So Mose is going to be here at the top of the steps. We're going to hope we don't step on the cat. And Duff is going to be a couple of steps below her. And they're both going to have their hands on that railing. So yes. So move closer so she can put her other hand on your shoulder, and maybe you can touch her waist, because you want to be able to guide her down. All right? So she, again, is the one giving the cues. She's going to say, step, and that means when she steps with her left foot, you step with your right foot. The idea is we want to be shifting weight with our partner exactly at the same time. Because you're facing her, you're like a mirror now. So you want to be using the opposite limb of your body to hers. So staircases, what we want to think about them is for safety first, because we are not only moving forward, we're constantly changing levels. And that's important when we're doing it with a partner. What we would like to do is have the partner a couple of steps, just the way Duff is, a couple of steps lower than Mose. He is going to safely be walking backwards. He can look down at his feet to see where he's going. And she is going to walk toward him. They both have their hands on the railing. And they're both moving with the same side of the body that is leaning toward the railing. So even though she's moving her left leg first, he's mirroring her moving his right leg first, because we want them shifting weight at exactly the same time. So she can put her other hand on his shoulder, and then he can guide by putting his hand around her waist. So why don't you get into that position? And then she, again, is going to give the cues. So when she wants to step down, she's going to say step, and then he will step at the same time as she does. Go ahead. Keep giving verbal cues. When he gets down, try and be closer to her when she's down. So just stay where you are rather than moving all the way back. Because again, you're trying to put your centers of gravity together. Okay, now we'll go up, and we'll just do that in the opposite way. You're simply going to be guiding her. You're not as worried about falls when you're going up. Step. Wait, Duff, you will still want to be behind her, one step behind her. So come down. Yeah, good. Keep going. And Great. And when you get to the top or you get to the bottom, the idea is to just stay in one place, stabilize your balance between the two of you. So stop moving. Even though you could go forward, just do it because I said so. So let's try down one more time, and then we'll be ready to move on to the uneven surface. Great. Wonderful. Nice. It always gives the opportunity for more hugs. So in this sequence, we're going to talk about uneven surfaces, and that is both staircases where you are negotiating going up levels as you are going forward and down levels as you are going forward, and also uneven surfaces that you may live near. So in a city, you may have a strip of pavement next to a strip of grass. You may have a lot of cracked and uneven surfaces. And if you're in an rural area, you may have a lot of bumpy grass. That is some grass, some dirt. So what we want to be able to do, and especially with a partner, is to negotiate these surfaces easily and be really aware of our balance and the friction between us as we step and move together. So let's think about this uneven surface in their backyard. If you don't have a backyard where you are living, what you can do is simply use a mat inside or some folded up bath towels and lay them down one side of your room so that you can practice having a flat floor and a folded up bath towel. But we'll look at that later when we go back inside and walk on mats. So right now, we're going to look at this grass and this piece of pavement. And Mose and Duff are going to start by holding each other around the waist. And Duff is only going to have one foot on the grass, and the other will be on the pavement. So as she steps, one foot is going to sort of sink a little bit, or it's going to feel bumpy underneath. And the other one is going to be very clear, very apparent where her balance is. Duff, by feeling her shifting weight, is going to be able to move with her and guard this experience of the uneven surface. So let's try that. Duff is going to follow Mose's lead, and she's going to tell him when to step, and they're going to shift from from both right feet to both left feet. And when you get up here, you're going to turn around so you can feel the whole thing on the other side. And this is particularly important to practice on both sides because most people with PD have weakness on one side of the body or the other. Great. Okay. Now, I would just like both of you to hold each other in dance position. So let's say Mose is going to go backwards and Duff is going to go forwards. And we're now going to both get on the grass. Yeah, you can come a little bit closer to us. So Mose, just shifting weight from foot to foot, you can lead him wherever you want to go. You don't have to count any particular way. But just keep your bodies close together so you feel that shift of weight. And if you want to turn in a circle, you can do that. Great. Nice. I can hear the music playing. All right. Now let's get more specific about this movement. Mose, again, you're going to lead. You're going to lead him as you walk backwards. So you're going to take 4 steps backwards and then 2 steps forwards. And then 4 steps backwards, 2 steps forwards. And Duff, just follow what she does. As her body starts moving in a particular direction, pay attention to it. Nice. Okay, now I would like you, Mose, to surprise him. You don't have to just do that pattern. You could do 2 back and 4 forward and 4 back and 2 forward. You could start to turn. It's dancer's choice. Just pick a direction so that you're not just shifting weight. I want you to shift weight, of course, but also go in a direction. Okay, great. Now we're going to switch partners, but first I'd like you to tell me about that experience. How did that feel?
It felt good. The grass is very uneven. It's very bumpy, and it comes kind of to a crest and then goes down. There are a lot of holes, so even though it might look flat, it's very uneven.
So how is that moving with a partner?
It's not as scary as moving alone.
Okay, so now, Duff, you can be the leader. And if you would like this time, not only going on the grass, but coming all the way back to the pavement so that you have the distinction between one surface and another. Now make it a little harder. Don't look down, look at each other. Great. That's terrific. So now we're just going to take this uneven surface idea one step further. It's always harder to walk and chew gum at the same time. So what we're going to do is Mose and Duff are going to play catch while moving from one surface to the other. So again, you can go backwards, forwards, sideways, and just make sure that as soon as you get the ball, you give it away. But you have to keep moving at the same time.
Can we move from the grass to the cement? And
Yes, yes. Good. Great. Yes, keep changing direction. Good. Okay. You guys are too good. Wow. So now we're going to do a fish reeling exercise to help you guys learn to walk forward and backward on uneven surfaces without looking down. And this is going to be particularly important in parts of the country where eventually it's going to be cold and icy, and we're always worried about walking on uneven surfaces that are also slippery. So Mose and Duff are going to use this tether. You can use any piece of nylon rope. You could tie a couple of dog leashes together. You could take electrical cords, anything that will just give you enough space so that one of you can walk away from the other backwards and forwards and really feel that you are accomplishing something. The person who is the fish reeler, so that in this case is going to be Duff first, he's going to let out his piece of nylon cord as Mose walks backwards. So she's not going to look down at the ground, she's just going to look at him, look into his eyes. And she's going to go at the pace at which he lets out the rope. Go ahead. Okay, now stop 1 minute. And I'd like you to just do this again. I don't know whether you're aware of how you were walking backwards. Do you know how?
Step together, step, step together, step.
Exactly. Which is something that we would probably do if we were being cautious. But now I just want you to really rely on your partner. He is not going to let you fall. I want you to walk backwards just the way you walk forwards, making space in between each foot as you take a larger step. Give it another try. Nice. Keep going, keep going. How does that feel? Stop right there.
It's very bumpy here, so it's difficult.
Sure it is. Are you keeping enough tension on that piece of rope, Duff? Okay, you're going to reel her in now and let her go do this again. So go at the pace that he's reeling you in. Try not to lean back, but just go for him. Good, great. Now you let him go backwards. You're in control. So just turn around, put the piece around his waist. And he's going to start back. And just look at her. Take bigger steps. And bend your knees. Yes, good. Stop. And now come forward. Hold that cord tight. Great. Are you aware that your steps forward are larger than your steps backward? Try one more time. Nice. Okay. And then when you feel her pulling you back, go with her. Great. Nice. Thank you very much. So in this sequence for close contact for couples with PD, we learned all about using the balance with a partner, friction with a partner, and shifting weight to negotiate uneven surfaces, whether they're stairs or pavement and grass or cracked pavement, and also using a gate belt to get out of a car. When we get together next time, we're going to go back into the house and see what we have to learn to roll out of bed and help a partner help us to negotiate the shower or tub.